forgot to drag the thing. And then when I forgot to drag the thing, I forgot that the other thing is the thing that you can't be looking at. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, it's me, T-Bone. It's 10:30. It's Sunday. It's time for the Supplemental. I tell you, every time it gets a little better and better. Now, what you should be seeing on your screen there is me in all of my glory, wearing my wonderful red, looking down the barrel of that camera. Not that one, or that one. That one. We come to you every Sunday morning and we do three things. We talk about your national days of the week. Why do you do that, T-Bone? That's a solid question. Let me explain. I believe you should find a reason to celebrate every day. It is so easy in life to just take one day after the other, just to get through Monday, just to make it past Tuesday. Oh my God, it's hump day. Oh my God, it's pre-Friday. Oh my God, it's Friday. It's the weekend and it's Monday. It's just, we can allow ourselves to get in that OODA loop of just over and over and then you're dead. That is what it is. Now, with these national days of the week, we take every day by storm. We look at the thing in that day, and it is going to make us happy. And if the ones I choose do not make you happy, and get online and find your own freaking national day of the week. But do something every day that makes you happy, and these are an excuse for happiness. You find out what the national day of the week is, and you try to celebrate it in some way. Try to celebrate every day. That's what the whole national days of the week thing is about. And that's why I take the time to make them and to put them out there on the talk of the ticks and out there on the grams of the Insta. Yeah, that's what it's all about. We have a little fun. We find a reason to celebrate every day. And this is what we do on Sunday mornings. We get together. We do our national days of the week. I talk to you about a comedy, a community, or a charity thing that I'm supporting that week. And then we wrap it up with This Week in History trivia style, where we have fun failing repeatedly. Over and over again, we try to get 7 questions out of 7 questions right, and they're not hard questions. And if you stick around long enough, you'll play along with us, and you'll figure out that, yeah, we should be going for 7 for 7 all the time. It looks like all of the things are working. Prior preparation had a lot to do with today. So let's begin. Let's throw out a ghetto clapboard so when I go to edit this later, it makes my life easier. It's broken, man. I'm not getting a good smack on it. That's much better. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's me, T-Bone, from the LUNSB Show with T-Bone and Chick Bro. It's time for your national days of the week. Starting with tomorrow, lost my place. you have to, all right. Starting with tomorrow, Monday, July 14th. Remember June 18th? Remember that? And then there was July the 4th. And there was this whole back and forth that the internet made us all believe that June 18th was not for white people, and then July 4th couldn't be celebrated by black people because they're pitting us against one another like, ah, ha, ha, ah, ha, ha, ha. And it didn't work. It's a day off. We're celebrating. It doesn't matter. Now, I would like to see an amalgamation of the races when it comes to this national day, okay? I have for years called it my favorite macaroni and cheese is what I call black macaroni and cheese. That's what I call it. I do it, see what I did there? Because, black people make the best macaroni and cheese, but that's not true. We can all make that macaroni and cheese. The recipes exist for all of us, and it should be if you are a toddler, you shouldn't be watching the show to begin with. But if you are a young child and you're a latchkey kid, even though I think technically your parents go to prison if you're a latchkey kid, and there's a craft thing of dry noodles and powdered cheese, and you crack it open and you put some water in it and you microwave it for 10 seconds, and that's what's feeding you, Okay. But if you're bringing a tray of mac and cheese, it better not have the word Kraft on it. It bet not have the word Kraft on it. You heard? You gotta bake it, man. You gotta put that cheese in there. You gotta get that crusty crust on top where the best part of that macaroni and cheese is in the corners. You get that edges. If we're gonna have two different holidays of celebration, of emancipation, of freedom, your June 18th and your July 4th, and we're gonna split the hairs there. We can't have one National Macaroni and Cheese Day. There has to be two. And let's not beat around the bush about it. There needs to be National Black Macaroni and Cheese Day and National All Other People Macaroni and Cheese Day. Or you give everybody the recipe, okay? It ain't in grandma's little recipe box anymore. It's available on the online, and you can search black macaroni and cheese, and it will come up. But it'll be called the recipe will be called Southern Macaroni and Cheese. And it doesn't matter. It is the best. Celebrate Monday, July 14th, National Black Macaroni and Cheese Day. Moving on. I thought that was a good one. You know you do not burn it, Lucy. No. All right. Blazing Saddles Day. Well, that's a great one. I'm going to try to check comments in between. National Nap Day. Oh, every day is National Nap Day when you're over 50. Robert says, I need to move closer to the mic. His volume is up, but he can barely hear me. And I did turn down the mic earlier, so I have adjusted that. It's a good thing to look at the comments. Hello, Lucy. Hola, guapa. Okay. Called a noose. I don't know what I said there. All right. And coming over here, who do we got? La 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 la. Yeah, I prefer you on Facebook as well, but Mother prefers to use TikTok. No problem. Here we go. Stumbled. Here we go. Tuesday, July 15th, it's National Pet Fire Safety Day. Let me try to understand what's going on here. What the fire peoples want you to do, and bless their heart, I love the fire peoples, especially in this area, because all of them are volunteers. There are very few paid firefighters around here, which personally I think is the way to go. If you can get people to do a job for free that you pay other people to do, and they're willing to do it because they get to drive trucks that make noises, more power to them. But that's not what the deal is here. The deal is Fire Pet Safety Day, which means you need to have a plan, because for humans, our fire safety plans are, we got to find ways to get out of the house no matter where the fire is. And if there's a fire, what is your alternate? What is your COA number 1, COA number 2, COA number 3? When we're talking about your cats, they're going to die. Cats, not known for escaping fires. Dogs, also not known for escaping fires, but have the added advantage of being loved so much that their owners will run into the flames to get them and bring them out or die trying. Tell me that's not true. Tell me in every news story you've seen where a house goes up in flames, they'll come on and they'll be like, well, 7 kittens or 7 cats were burned in the fire. Oh, I'm sad. Everyone's sad. The 7 cats expired from smoke inhalation and then burned beyond recognition. And then the next news story is like, local house catches on fire. Crazy man runs into the flames in flip-flops in a pair of Crocs and Daisy Dukes. And he runs into the fire and he grabs his 115-pound Rottweiler, throws him on his shoulder, busts through the door on the way out, passing the firemen on their way in. Video at 6. Your pets, you need to have a plan, all right? And here are your plan options. Plan A, you have anything other than a dog, have good insurance. Plan B, If you have a dog, be prepared to give your life for that dog. Okay. That is Tuesday, July 15th, National Pet Fire Safety Day. Moving on, and an opportunity to check comments. I thought that one went rather well. You know I'm doing these off the cuff, right? I have nothing written down. I'm just, I didn't mean to make you sad, Lucy. Go, chaos, run, scream, turn the camera on, go live. True. Necklace clasp. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. What about National Indigenous Mac and Cheese Day? That's funny. Such Mac passion, yes. Yes, preach, yes. And not because you burned it. All right. That was a good one. I like the way that one went. That'll go viral. Let's see what we can do with this one. It's Wednesday, July 16th. Time for National Guinea Pig Appreciation Day. They don't have a fire safety plan, okay? No one's running in the house to save the guinea pigs. Me, T-Bone, personally, I am not a fan of keeping rodents and giving them names. I don't care if it's a guinea pig, a hamster, a mouse, a rat. Give me some more rodent things. What are more rodents? A chupacabra? I don't... I'm not a fan of rodents or reptiles. Give me a kitty cat if necessary, or give me a big old dog. That's who I am. But this day ain't about me. This day is about you ferret-loving... I don't know. Is a ferret a rodent? I don't think it is, because it's got a long, bushy tail, and rodents don't have long, bushy tails. I didn't study in school. So, Groundhog Appreciation Day. Yes, more of that. Guinea Pig Appreciation Day. If you've got your guinea pigs and they're stuck in a little aquarium and you want to appreciate them a little bit more, make one of those tunnel things where it gives the guinea pigs the thought that they're escaping. It makes them feel really good about themselves because they're like, oh, I got away. And they go, that's the actual sound. Shut it. And they run through the tunnel, and they look left and look right, and they run through the tunnel, and they think they're making an escape, and then the tunnel ends with them in another aquarium on the opposite side of the room, within looking distance of the aquarium that they just escaped, and then they're like, ah. But in their tiny little brains, they'll forget about it, and tomorrow they'll make another escape from the tiny little aquarium that they're stuck in through the tubing that you've put up on Guinea Pig Appreciation Day and go back into the other tube. It's hours and hours of fun, much better than staring at fishes. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? And that is Wednesday, July 16th, National Guinea Pig Appreciation Day. Moving on. The moving on thing. Squirrel has a bushy tail and is a rodent. Ferret-loving fairies. That's the F I was looking for. Thank you. Forget family, grab an animal. That sounds like a good song. And looking over here, and Mother is nice and quiet. He didn't even say anything. He's just watching him and his lovely wife. Just watching my profile view, because they're too good for the Facebooks. I am going to hydrate. It's a big voice day for me. And then we'll get into the next one. Bear with me. See, live, you get to see this stuff. The people who don't catch this live, they get to see it. Edited version. It takes out all the fun of the in-betweens. Thursday, July 17th. It's National Tattoo Day. Off to the right, it said, the art that sticks with you. And, you know, times they are a-changing. Tattooing yourself used to be really popular, and then it fell out of fashion for many, many, many years. depending on the culture, and all cultures take cultural shifts. And in our Western culture, they're coming back, but they're moving to the really, really, really excessive extreme, which means it's just the way things work. It's not accepted. It's accepted. It's accepted more. It's accepted more. It becomes excessive. It becomes extremely excessive, and then, full stop. Knock it off. There's a new law. Tattoos are illegal. Piercings are illegal. Doing the thing to your eyes is no longer legal. And then this is throughout history. And then we go through the cycle again. This is something you can't do. Okay, you can do a little bit. All right, you can do a little bit more. Okay, hold on. Oh, that's way too much. Stop. It's the circle of life. I know many of you in the reels, in real life. I can look at your name as it pops up on the screen, and if I remember correctly, know whether you do or do not have any tattoos. If you want to challenge me on this, just do the Judas Iscariot quote. Is it me? Yeah, just hit me and question mark, and I will try to answer whether or not you do or do not have a tattoo based on my memory or knowledge of you. And there's only a couple in the room, so this shouldn't take long. And that includes you, Mother, and Jill, who are both no's, by the way. A no and a no. Now, you would think, by the way Mother looks, that he's a tattooed person, but he's a gentle, gentle soul. And I do not believe you have any tattoos, or any that I can remember. And James, I do not think you have any tattoos, but you may. You could, and it wouldn't be a surprise if you did. But your old school tattoo, if you do have one, clearly it's not visible wearing a collared long sleeve shirt, because those were once restrictions to certain jobs. You could be tattooed. You could be tattooed, but it had to be unexposed in a long sleeve shirt. The girls at Hooters couldn't have tattoos. Did you know that? They had to cover them up with makeup and stuff. I'm wrong, but I'm not really wrong. Mr. James does have tattoos, apparently, but they're hidden, as they should be. Lucy, not surprisingly, Lucy doesn't have any tattoos. Going back over there, we're good over there, good over here. And that is the way we're going to celebrate National Tattoo Day. We're going to show off our tattoos, even the ones that you can't see in a long sleeve collared shirt. That's Thursday, July 17th, National Tattoo Day. Moving on. I'll be honest with you. I didn't like that one so much. I mean, I'm still going to post it. I just didn't like it that much. I'm looking at my options for Friday, July 18th. I have a winner. Here we go. Moving on to Friday, July 18th. It's National Daiquiri Day. Official, right? Because any day you're drinking daiquiris is National Daiquiri Day, but this is officially on the calendar a reason to go for daiquiris. Zeus doesn't like daiquiris. A reason to go for daiquiris after work. Yeah, what's in a daiquiri? Anybody remember? Adopted says I'm Batman. Okay. Don't want to pay attention. I have to make sure I don't mess with the comments during. In between, I mess with the comments. Who remembers what's in a daiquiri? I don't. I can guess. And again, I used to be a bartender, so it's not that my memory's fading. It's just that my memory is now cross-circuited. I have two friends that I like and admire, and their names are Aaron and Lennon. And I promise you, I am not doing this intentionally, but in the last couple of get-togethers, I have called them each other's name. So don't know how to get out of that slump. So you got your daiquiri. Daiquiri's usually got some kind of mix in it. I think they call it daiquiri mix. It's got alcohol in it. Usually when you think of frozen drinks, you're thinking rum. But maybe it could be a mixture of different things. So you got some fruit, you got some rum, you got some ice. I'm sure a salt flavor somewhere. I don't know what's in a daiquiri anymore, or if I ever did. But what I do know is on Friday, July 18th, I'm going to be tasting some daiquiris through a straw with a little umbrella. I don't even know where I'm getting my daiquiri on Friday. But I'll be at the club. I will be at the Comedy Zone Friday night, and they have daiquiris on the menu. I'll make it a virgin because I'll be driving, and I don't drink and drive. That is Friday, July 18th, National. I'll phone ahead. I'll see if I can get some discounts. A drink special, daiquiris, on Friday, July 18th, National Daiquiri Day. Moving on. National Day of Tropical Fruit, Ice and Fruit, Strawberry Daiquiri Mixture. Those are all correct statements. National Pay Your Government Employees Day. That's funny. My tattoo says I'm adopted and then says I'm Batman, which is dumb. No one adopted Batman. He was just taken care of by the old man left behind. Casino, yes, a daiquiri at the casino. It's the little things that make me laugh. Has anybody seen my billboards? All right, moving on. I don't know what that is. I know what that is. I do not understand how that can be observed. I can't because that would mean a correction. We're going to go with this instead. Saturday, July 19th. It's National Ice Cream Cone Day. There are only two types of ice cream cones. There's the one that tastes like nothing, and all of the others that have flavor attached to them. I am a big fan of ice cream cones that have flavor attached to them. I don't like the paper taste of plain waffle. Give me some chocolate, some Graham cracker, crack-ass Graham. Yes, to be honest, I mean, the only times I really eat ice cream is when I'm out in the streets. When I'm running those streets, I might have a cone, but I don't have a cone because I'm in the streets. I, being a man of proper etiquette, prefer a bowl with a spoon. And you don't really see that in the United States as much. In the United States, you go to an ice cream place and you sit at a picnic table and you eat the ice cream. We have a lot of those here. The people here, they love their ice cream here in central Pennsylvania. But in Italy, it was more like just a matter of convenience. It would be late in the evening. You would go on a passeggiata. You would just be walking along with family, friends, loved ones, whatever you may have. And, oh my goodness, someone put a gelateria here. What can I possibly do with the access to the most delicious tasting ice cream in the world? Well, I would give him €1, or in past time, I would give him a little lira, and they would give me a cone or a bowl, you can ask, and the best tasting ice cream in the world. We've asked this before, what's your favorite ice cream? We may make this a question of the week for next week. You're getting advance notice of future questions of the week. It's not about the ice cream cone. It's about the ice cream. Because honestly, I mean, the cone is just a delivery vehicle for ice cream. It's an unnecessary delivery vehicle for ice cream. But it's an excuse to eat ice cream. Normally, I cover with my right hand because I know you're there. I went this way. That's for the TikToks. I had to move them over here. Anyway, that's Saturday, July 19th, National Ice Cream Cone Day. Nocchiola. Nocchiola Talk to me. What is Nokiola? Club. Anyone go to the club? Should be out. Traffic, weather, not new. Should it be news, traffic, weather, not new? I'm going to give you new and some news, Mr. Taney. Always busting my damn chops. Sorry. Let's wrap up this segment so we can move on to everything else that's going on in the world. I like it. Oh, I like that one too. I'm going to go with this one. Sunday, July. Oh, hazelnut. Oh, it was so distracting. Yes, that's a good one. Sunday, July 20th is, and I rarely do this, okay? I don't go with international or world or global. I will make an exception here on Sunday, July the 20th. Because 58 years ago, we put human beings on the moon. July 20th, 1969. Sorry, 69, that's only 56 years ago. 56 years ago, we put human beings on the moon, and today is known as no national, no state, no county, no province, no global, no Earth. It's just Moon Day. It's the one day of the year when we all look at the moon and go, we've been there, man. We have been there and done that. We put humans on that glowy thing in the sky 56 years ago. And we did it a couple of times afterwards, but then we have not done any space exploration. But every time some future scientist, some future dreamer, some future entrepreneur looks up and sees the moon in the sky, and with today's quality phone, you can zoom right in on it and look at like the Sea of Tranquility. You can see it all. It is a symbol of what is out there. And it's the closest symbol. I mean, the sun we see more of, but it is much further away, and it is way bigger. Mars, Venus, we can see them, but at their distances, they're tiny little speckles on your peckle. But that moon, baby, that moon is right there. So get outside, have a daiquiri, take all of the days of the week, grab your guinea pigs, go outside on the patio, grab a daiquiri, look up in the sky on Moon Day. That's Sunday, July 20th. And that, ladies and gentlemen, has been your National Days of the Week. Moving on. That's pretty good. Looking at your comments real quick. It was a stage, never made it to the moon, but one day I'll send you to the moon. I'll send you to the moon. Space, the final frontier. America did that. Moon rock. Yes, yes, yes. America, yes. All good comments. Thank you for your comments. Space on the moon. And no one over there. I don't even know why I put the effort in anymore. We are going to talk right now in the in-between, between National Days of the Week and This Week in History Trivia Style. We do a little thing where we talk about comedy, community, or charity events. And the charity event I'm talking to you right now about is United for Animals. United for Animals is doing a cash raffle. The top prize of the cash raffle, $15,000. They're only selling 3,500 tickets. That means you have a 1 in 3,500 chance of winning $15,000. But who buys one ticket? No one. You always buy at least 2 tickets, right? So 2 tickets get you what? Well, it cuts your odds in half. You're now 1 in 1,750. Somebody do the math for me, because I don't know what half of 1,750 is immediately. But if you buy 3 tickets, it's going to be half of that. If you buy 4 tickets, it's going to be half of that. If you buy 5 tickets, it's going to be half of that. Your odds increase with every ticket purchased. Now, you could buy 5 tickets for $100, or you could pay $25 a ticket. If you don't want to throw down 100 bones and you only want to throw down 25 bones, you can get yourself an opportunity to win up to $15,000 in the cash raffle for United for Animals. Now, you can go on their webpage and, oh, by the way, second prize is $3,000. Third place is $2,000, and if you buy your tickets before August the 1st, there's an additional $1,000 early person special thingy. So United for Animals charity, you can find them by going to this website. Listen closely. animals-r-us.org. And what you'll find on there is the places where you can buy the tickets. What you'll find down there is ways you can buy the tickets online, and you'll also see the just enormous list of rescue animal charities that this one fund driver helps assist. They take in 3,500 tickets worth at $25 a piece or $20 a piece, depending on if you buy them in bulk. They do this drawing on October the 8th, but all of the profits from this are going towards animal charities and a variety of them. You name the charity in this area and they're going to get it. So think about that. Animals-r-us.org and buy yourself some tickets. And if you're local, let's go to Snappers Bar and Grill, located at 120 East Allen Street, Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania, on October the 8th, the day they do the drawing, because I plan to continue to increase my chances because I'm donating money to charity, but at the same time with the possibility of a little kickback. And I like all of that. Again, United for Animals. Check them out at animals-r-us.org. Moving on. I thought that was good. I thought we'd drop our pants on Moon Day. That is funny. I wish I would have gone that route. That was good. JT, he loves Snapper. Alice Camden is still there. Oh, Cramden. I don't know. I think you're putting extra letters in there. Are you ready? I don't really watch SpongeBob, but I do know what it is. But he starts that with, are you ready, right? This Week in History quiz. Dude! Bad. History quiz. Again, missing multiple choice answers. Yeah, absolutely right. Thanks for catching that. Look, man, this is why I won't pay for AI. I will not pay for AI. Because if I'm going to train the future robot overlords, I'm not doing it and then paying them to train them. Not going to do it. Not going to do it. All right, every week we go into the chat orchestrated, and sometimes we are smarter than ChatGPT, and we prove that they are wrong and we are right. The Mandela effect no more. Here's what we do. Every week we do 7 questions, and we try to get through these 7 questions as best we can. And we try to answer all of them correct. I do not know the questions or the answers right now. I will learn them with you. I will see them with you. I understand there is a time delay, so I'll eat up some of that time while you make your decision. Put your answers in as quickly as possible. I'll get through the questions quickly. You get through your answers quickly, okay? Here we go. Question number 1. On July 6th, 1957, which 2 future Beatles met for the first time at a church event? July 6, 1957, 2 of the Beatles meet for the very first time at a church event. Now, there are only 4 Beatles. Do you know who the 4th one is? No one remembers who the 4th one is. So let's assume it's 2 of the more popular Beatles. That narrows it down to 3. 3 gives you a couple of different chances. You only get 1 time to make the answer. Here are your multiple choice options. I'm going to give credit to Mr. Taney for getting John and Paul in before anybody else. Extra points. Not an extra answer, extra points. Was it John Lennon and George Harrison? Was it Paul McCartney and George Harrison? Was it John Lennon and Paul McCartney? Or was it Ringo Starr and Paul McCartney? Who was it? John and Paul. John and Paul are the answers that are popping up. Yoko and Peter, very funny answer. Very funny answer. John, Paul, George, and Ringo, and there was a fifth. Yes, but you missed a comma, so it looks like John, Paul, George, and Ringo. Your punctuation way off. Don't even try to stun me with your fifth. I also believe that the beginning of the Beatles, that started on July 6, 1957, occurred when a young man named John Lennon met a young man named Paul McCartney. We'll find out if we're right in a few more questions. Question number 2. What famous U.S. document was first read aloud in public on July 8th, 1776? Now, if you've played along with us before, you may know the answer to this question. What famous U.S. document was first read aloud in public on July 8th, 1776? Robert's kicking in. The Pope was a Beatle. Very funny. Robert's kicking in with Ringo and Paul as his answer to the previous question. Here are your multiple choice options for question number 2. Was it the U.S. Constitution? Was it the Bill of Rights? Was it the Declaration of Independence? Or was it the Emancipation Proclamation? Which one was it? July 8th, 1776. Roger with the Declaration. James with the Declaration. Me with the Declaration. And looking to our right, Stacy liked the live, but he's not playing along. Must be distracted by his beautiful wife. Lucy's finally answering the previous question with John and Paul. I got the Declaration. I got the Declaration. I'm missing a couple answers, but I can't stay much longer. I'm going to answer with also the Declaration of Independence. John Lennon and Paul, she says. Bill of Riots. Oh, you're so funny. Online, in real life, not funny at all. But online, you're hilarious. Question number 3. On July 9th, 1981, Nintendo released Donkey Kong. Who was the original hero of the game? When Donkey Kong was released on July 9th, 1981, who was the original hero of the game? Here are your options. Was it the Mario? Hey, it's me, Mario. Was it Mario? Was it Luigi? Was it Donkey Kong? Or was it Link? I don't see why. I mean, it's all about perspective. I don't see why Donkey Kong couldn't have been the hero. You don't know what kind of relationship they had, okay? You shouldn't judge what you don't know. Maybe they had a previously existing relationship. Maybe she was using like drugs or something. And Donkey Kong, maybe the drugs are being provided by Mario. So Donkey Kong is actually the hero who comes in and sweeps her up and tries to rescue her. He's taking her to rehab. Tried to make her go to rehab, and she said, no. Everybody is answering while I'm going off trying to save Donkey Kong's reputation. Everybody's saying Mario. And I agree with you. I also believe it was Mario. Question number 4. What weather disaster struck Chicago on July 12th, 1995, in our lifetime? What weather disaster struck Chicago on July 12th, 1995, causing more than 700 deaths? Here are your multiple choice options. Was it a tornado? Was it a blizzard? Was it a heat wave? Or was it a flood? Those are your four options. July 12th, 1995, in the city of Chicago. Was it a tornado? Was it a blizzard? Was it a heat wave? Or was it a flood? James pops in with tornado. Robert pops in with a blizzard. Roger pops in with a heat wave. I think Roger's right. First of all, it's hard to have a tornado inside the city of Chicago. The buildings break up the winds, and it's hard. It can happen. A blizzard in July, less likely. It is up north, but it's not that far north. Floods happen, but there's a lot of places. I'm going with Roger on this one. I also believe it was a heat wave. And moving on, question number 5. On July 11th, 1804, what famous duel occurred between two U.S. political figures? July 11th, 1804, what famous duel occurred between two U.S. political figures? Was it George Washington and Benedict Arnold? Was it Andrew Jackson and Henry Clay? Was it Aaron Burr and Alexander Hamilton? Or was it Thomas Jefferson and John Adams versus John Adams? What two U.S. political figures were in a duel on July 11th, 1804? Aaron Burr is only mentioned once. His opponent, Alexander Hamilton. I will accept that answer for Mr. Taney. I am pausing gently as I wait for the rest of your answers. And Hammy, he finishes it off. So he's going with option C, Aaron Burr and Alexander Hamilton. The other options out there still available to you. Burr and Hamilton, says Roger. Jackson and Clay, Washington and Arnold, or Jefferson and Adams. Those are your other options available. Robert, Burr, and Hamilton. I think he just literally copied and pasted. I feel like he copied and pasted, but I could see one letter's different. So you win. I agree with thee. I believe it was. I know you. No lo sé. No lo sé. No lo so. Yo no sé. Is what Lucy's saying. Burr and Hamilton. It's only famous because of Broadway. On Broadway. How do they do the duel? You will take 10 paces, and I will take 10 paces. You were going to say heat wave. Well, why didn't you? Question number 6. What massive global music event took place on July 13th, 1985? I don't need to read the rest of the question. I don't need to provide you with multiple choice answers. If you don't know about the global music festival that took place in 1985, I don't know if you should be allowed to play this game anymore. I don't know if we should allow you in to give us answers to other questions if you can't get this one right based on that. Global music event, 1985. Any idea? Don't you shut down on me. I have to move it's so funny if you go a while, you gotta put a piece in. I couldn't fit it. I'm gonna try to fit it in a piece. Robert, going with Woodstock. Now, I will give you credit because you're very small. You were very small at the time, 1985. We are the world. We are the future. We are the ones that make a brighter day, so let's start giving. Global. A global music event that took place in 1985. I will finish with the rest of the question. What massive global music event took place on July 31st, 1985 to raise money for famine relief? Was it Woodstock 85? No. Was it Farm Aid? No. Was it Band-Aid? No. Was it Live Aid? Yeah. Yeah, it was freaking Live Aid. Okay? Because we didn't have global music events before 1985. They didn't exist. We had music events around the globe, but we never had one that was simulcast on both sides. It was a big deal. Queen. There is only one answer, and those of you who keep saying we are the world are wrong. Here were your options. Was it Woodstock 85, Farm Aid, Band-Aid, or Live Aid? James pops in with Live Aid. Good answer. I concur. I am going to give you a chance to answer, all of you. But if you answer with anything other than Live Aid, well, I don't care. I mean, you're keeping your own score, so I don't care. Oh, my computer's so hot. Why is it so hot? Hey, bitch. Here we go. Finally, last question of the week. I'm feeling pretty confident, to be honest with you. I feel like I'm doing pretty good this week. I don't know about all y'all's. I'm feeling good. I'm going to celebrate with some mac and cheese and a daiquiri while watching hamsters escape. Again, callbacks here make no sense later when I chop all of this up. Only the live audience gets these. Which Supreme Court nominee was rejected by the Senate on July 13th, 1987? If you live it, you love it, you laugh it. I distinctly remember who was rejected in 1987, but I stole the answer from you last time. I'm not going to do this. My answer is locked in. He was he had the Amish. They call it a chin strap. He had a chin strap. I remember this. I just because I had not been privy to meeting Amish and Mennonite peoples, or Wayback peoples, as I've come to call them. I had never seen someone that wore a beard like that. I'm getting silly answers, but I'll ask the question again. What Supreme Court nominee was rejected by the Senate on July 13th, 1987? Here are your multiple choice options. Was it Merrick Garland, Robert Bork, Clarence Thomas, or Brett Kavanaugh? Now, even if you weren't around in 1987, or if you were very young in 1987, you should be able to figure this out if you're up on today's events. Because when I say the name Brett Kavanaugh, are you thinking 1987? If I say the name Clarence Thomas, are you thinking 1987? If I say Merrick Garland, are you thinking 1987? Maybe you are. James comes in with Clarence Thomas. Robert comes in with Clarence Thomas. Who is? It's okay to think about him in 1987. It's okay to think about Clarence Thomas in 1987. But he's on the Supreme Court, so he didn't get rejected. Lucy says Robert something. And Lucy is the most correct answer right now. Brett, bring me a beer, Kavanaugh. No, that guy is such a goody two-shoes. He had the calendars of every day of his life and all the significant events, like, I want a teddy bear today, yay. And when they came at him with all of the fake accusations, like, no, if I would have raped her, I would have put it on my calendar. It's not on my calendar. Such a goody two-shoes. Again, here are your answers. James is changing his answer. Wrong. Here are your options once again. Was it Merrick Garland? Was it Robert Bork? Was it Clarence Thomas? Or was it Brett Kavanaugh? My answer, the correct answer, along with Lucy, who gets credit, is Robert Bork. Why? Because Merrick Garland just served, they tried to make him a Supreme Court justice, and it failed. And then he was director of the swamp, I think, And then Band-Aid, I jumped. Clarence Thomas is obviously on the court. Brett Kavanaugh is on the court. The person that was rejected in 1987 was a beard chin strap wearing Mr. Robert Bork. That's what I know. And there's Lucy adding on Bork at the end. Please give me the answers after 10 paces. Again, you are your own judge, and I won't look down at you. If you got 0 right, that's okay. If you got all of them right, good on you. But if you're anywhere in between, I don't care. I'm happy for this time together. Here are the correct answers. It was John Lennon and Paul McCartney who met each other together at a church event. It was the Declaration of Independence. It was a me, a Mario. It was a heat wave. It was Alan Burr and Alexander Hamilton. And I'm telling you, as I get closer to 7 for 7, I get more and more excited because I am feeling this, baby. Question number 6 was Live Aid. Question number 7 was Robert Bork. Look at me, I went 7 for 7, and you didn't, and you did. I don't know, but I had a good time, as I do every Sunday morning at 10:30, live on Facebook and on the Talk of the Ticks, doing the Supplemental. I remind you today, as I remind you every day, just be the best person that you could be, and if you were a great person today, be an even better person tomorrow. Chick Bruce Sends Her Love. New episode of the LUNSB Show is being taped in 28 minutes. I got